Hey, it's Nick, live from the backyard once again. And this time I'm actually doing a vlog kind of later in the day, and that's because I've been hard at work all day. And what you see here is actually my entire garden planted. My small garden. I want to expand it further off into my yard, but this is the whole thing. You might notice that there are stones. These are 1 foot markers, and there's ones down here because I'm very methodical about how I plan out my garden. I have a history in electronics and computers, so I'm a little bit hardcore whenever it comes to creating my own designs. You know, very straightforward, with string and straight edge, as you see right there. But yeah, and I didn't have any graph paper laying around. You may not be able to make that out because that's pencil on red paper, but that's an entire graph showing exactly where every single last plant is. So that I can plant exactly, and whenever they start to sprout, I can know exactly where they are. And in addition, except for where plants were spread seeded, I have sticks laid down so that I know exactly where every single plant is. You know, fun. Except for this guy. I dug about 2 feet down and still couldn't get rid of that stake. But there I am, you know, I've got the garden coming along really well. And let's see, I can go through the list. You may even be able to see this one, because this list has numbers on the graph. I wrote down numbers in individual places on the graph, and then the numbers correspond to a legend, which is here, which I have a bunch of different peppers, which include jalapeno, Japanese hot, Yolo Wonder, Cubanelle, Datilla hot, Thai, Serrano, giant green peppers, finger hots, orange sweet peppers, California sweet peppers, sweet banana, and then whenever we go out, and in each one of those I have 2 of those plants going. Then we have quite a number of everything that I'm about to mention, which is green beans, Lincoln peas, Kentucky beans, sugar snap peas, Alaska peas, beets, Swiss chard, kale, spinach, ephedra, which that's for tea, turnip, it's a herb, which actually I couldn't find parsnips, so I replaced it with that plant. Then I have turnips, carrots, radish, onion, cabbage, broccoli, romaine lettuce, and black-seeded Simpson lettuce, eggplant, okra, beefsteak tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, red cherry tomatoes, and finally, Rutgers tomatoes. And I just have tons of this stuff planned out. And that was a total of 35 different plants that I have in this 24-foot by 12-foot area. And this took me all day. Most of the day was actually spent making this graph and the legend, and kind of trying to plan things out, and then as I got into the garden, of course, some things slightly changed, but I kept track of it all on my graph and inside of my legend. That way, whenever things start to sprout, I know exactly what is what, and thanks to the sticks that I have here, I'll know exactly where those plants are. Of course, some of these plants are kind of spread seeded, you know, like things like carrots and onions and things. You just kind of throw the seed into the hole and then cover it up. But I do know exactly where those lines are, thanks to these marker rocks, and thanks to the legend and graph paper that I made. So I know exactly every single last plant should and will be. And if I'm unsure, I can take 2 pieces of string one from one of these pieces of rock, string another from the other one, and that will give me a cross section and tell me exactly where one of my plants should be. So yeah, it's lots of fun. I've already cooked quite a few things on my solar cooker today. I already had a great... I'm becoming a big fan of potato soup. It comes out so well inside of the solar cooker. And I've already had it 2 days in a row now. I'm sure I'll come up with some other dish sometime soon. But for now, I'm really enjoying the potato soup. It comes out just... it's amazing in the solar cooker. And actually, I have to like let it sit and cool for like upwards of half an hour because it gets so hot. And that solar cooker works really good. But there's my beautiful garden so far, a 24-foot by 12-foot patch with exacting patterns, knowing where exactly everything is. It really helps a lot. And I've already had a pepper garden in the past where I was very, very, very limited on space. And I'm very happy to have all of this wonderful area to start making more and more and more garden. And trust me, I'm going to continue. I was hoping to be done earlier than this because some of the climbing things I'm going to do on this fence, you know, like cucumbers and cantaloupes and squashes and things like that. But I guess that's going to have to wait till tomorrow. So, without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go because it is a Friday. I just sold bunches of stuff on eBay, and I'm ready to go out and have fun. I've already been having tons of fun, but I'm going to have even more fun because all of you lovely people listen to me, and some of you bought some of my things, and I also just had some random things happen that were good in my life. So I'm happy. Look at that, a wonderful garden. I have lots of money in my bank account at the moment. I could always use more. I'm not rich or anything, but I'm, you know, I got enough money to go out and have a little bit of fun, and that's always good, you know. So it's just a good life here, you know. So yeah, my solar cooker's already taken down. I still have some of my potato soup left. I'm gonna have some more in a bit, you know, before I head out on town to have a good time. So I know this has been lasting a while. Oh, and here, this thing, before I leave you, this thing right here, there's my hose right there. I'm actually going to turn that back on. So I filled this up, my creek, which is way, way, way back there. I'm going to be pulling water out of that as much as I can to feed my garden because I don't need city water. And city water has actually like things like chlorine in it, which can hurt your plants. So what I did was I actually, way earlier, I put water into this container, and actually chlorine will bubble out of water after a matter of hours, and it will actually even do that faster if it's given sunlight. So this water is actually safe now to water my garden. That's a nice little tip. Don't use water straight from the hose. I mean, you can, but your plants will be much healthier if you let that water sit and let the chlorine bubble out. Or I believe you can add vitamin C to tap water, and it converts it to another chemical, which is calcium something. I can't remember, maybe calcium phosphate? Converts it to calcium phosphate, I think, but it's calcium something. But the chlorine can actually damage your plants. But this has been sitting a while, and as soon as I let you guys go, I'm going to water these plants, and then I'm going to head out on the town. So, without further ado, there's my tips, and you know what I'm up to. The big tip, I guess, would be let your water sit before you water your garden with it. but because it has chlorine in it. You can always add a little bit of vitamin C. I think it's vitamin C. You might want to look that up. I'm not guaranteeing you anything. But without further ado, in the words of my favorite YouTube musical artist, the ukulele, push the button.